Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the May 14th Lebanon Board of Works meeting. Our first order of business will be the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Now we'll move on to the roll call of members. Madam Clerk will call the roll.
Mayor Gentry.
Present.
Jane Taylor.
Present.
Bill Stoner.
Present.
Dick Robertson.
Present.
Alan Milburn.
Present.
Thank you.
Okay, looks like we're all here, so we'll move on to the approval of the minutes. Any edits or changes to the minutes from our previous meeting?
I do have one from April 30th that was a special meeting.
Okay.
And then April 23rd, our regular meeting.
Right.
Any edits to either the April 23rd or April 30th meetings? Okay, we'll do these separately then. We'll do first, entertain a motion to approve the minutes from our April 23rd meeting.
So moved.
We've motioned to approve. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Minutes from our April 23rd meeting approved. And on to approval of the minutes for our April 30th special meeting. Would entertain a motion.
I move to approve.
Second.
Motion to approve and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Our minutes from April 30th meeting are approved. All good, Tanya?
Thank you.
Okay, very good. All right, next up will be department head reports. First, department up, Police Department, Chief Wormuth.
Good evening, everyone. During the period between April 23rd and today's date of 5/14, the Lebanon Police Department responded to 758 calls for service. A total of 16 persons were arrested for the following crimes. We had 7 wanted on a warrant, 3 for drug offenses, 2 being meth and 1 for a controlled substance, 2 for operating while intoxicated, 2 for domestic battery, 1 for theft, and 1 for possession of a firearm without a license. We issued 6 handgun carry permits through our office. April 27th through the 29th, the department completed our yearly emergency vehicle operations training on the track at the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy. We didn't have any takers of any council members that wanted to come out and drive this time. And on May 14th, today's date, our department completed firearms training. We trained on shooting on the move and getting a quick target acquisition. I would like to encourage the public to come out to the north side of the square tomorrow at 10 o'clock. We will be having a memorial service for all of Boone County's fallen law enforcement officers. Boone County has lost 4 officers throughout our history. We ask the public to bear with us for the short time as some traffic flow on Washington Street will be interrupted. I know parking's a premium, but there will still be parking on Washington Street. We're just going to be shutting the street down for the memorial itself. So just please bear with us, and that's all I have at this time.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any questions from the board for Chief Wormuth? Any questions from the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
All right, next up, Fire Department, Chief Batts.
Good evening, everyone. Since the last Board of Works meeting, Lebanon Fire has made 144 emergency calls of service, logged 245 training hours, performed 52 commercial inspections, installed 3 car seats, and participated in 3 public education events. On Wednesday, May 2nd, the Public Safety Service Learning students from the Lebanon Middle School finished their final class project. They, along with Engine 12, met at Memory Hall Apartments, and they installed new batteries and smoke detectors for the residents of Memory Hall. So it was a great learning opportunity for them, and they were able to complete a project. On Saturday, May 5th, Lebanon Fire held the 9/11 Memorial Dedication. The event was very well attended. The memorial is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We have ADA compliant ramps and handicap parking, so we encourage the public to come out and visit the memorial. On Saturday, May 12th, LFD assisted the Parks Department with a lifeguard CPR refresher course. All this week, firefighter Matt Young is attending Fire Officer 2 at the Brownsburg Fire Department. Fire Officer 2 is an advanced level course focusing on leadership, management, and tactics. LFD recruit Wes Bankert just entered SCBA Hell Week at the Indianapolis Fire Department Academy. SCBA Hell Week focuses on SCBA management and working in zero visibility. This is a very stressful time for the recruits, and Wes is receiving excellent marks in class. I'd like to talk about the Teen Academy, the Boone County Teen Academy. It's for Boone County students ages 12 through 17, and this will be held April 18th through the 22nd, 1 o'clock to 8 p.m. daily. There are no camp fees this year. They will be accepting 40 applications, and you can contact Rachel Hansen at the Boone County Sheriff's Office at 765-483-4428. You can also visit the Lebanon Fire Department's Facebook page for information. That's all I have this evening.
Okay, thank you, Chief. Any questions from the board for Chief?
No.
Any questions from the public? Okay.
Thank you.
Just personally, Chief, I want to say you guys did a phenomenal job with the 9/11 monument dedication. Thank you all for the hard work on that. It was a really great ceremony.
Thanks. We had a lot of great help with it, great turnout from the public, and we've had several people stop by and enjoy the monument.
Looks great. Thank you, Chief. Okay, next up, Parks Department, John Messenger.
Good evening. College kids are getting out of school, so they're helping us knock out some tasks at the Seashore Water Park. I think we have 57 summer helpers to keep that place going. There again, thank them a lot for coming back. We have a pretty young staff. I think we have 24, 26 new hires this year. So it's going to be interesting. This last Saturday, we did our first training session, and Mr. Stoner, Mr. Milburn, you can appreciate you're on weekend shutdown in this room, and with 60 kids in here, it gets warm, but we are conserving. So anyway, that weekend shutdown is working. There again, we appreciate the facility. We couldn't hold it. I also want to thank the Lebanon Fire Department. They helped us do some touch-up on some kids that needed some touch-up with CPR, so they were nice enough to come in, their whole crew, and I actually went to the fire department because it got a little warm in here. So they were nice enough to use their facility and do the CPR training. There again, everybody will have defibrillator, CPR training, all these 60 individuals working. Nice rollout. Taylor Edens did a wonderful job along with Allison Morton and our two new pool managers this year, which is Lori Frost and Tiffany Windhorse. Great addition to the parks, and looking for a great season. As far as that, we're gearing up for the Mel Canyon Classic. There's been several meetings already. Going to be a fast track. 110 is what this gentleman was telling me down that backstretch along Ulen. We've got it all marked out, ready to put up the barricades in June 1st and be ready to go the 2nd and 3rd of June. Looking forward to that. It's going to be fast, though. There's a few different places we can look. A lot of the park will be blocked off, though, in that section. The other side will have baseball going on. Got Joe can tell you more about all the details of the fun stuff going on. We'll be behind the scenes. On Saturday, June 9th, we will be hosting a co-ed sand volleyball tournament. Registration opens May 1st, which that's already passed, and the cost is $90 per team. Packets can be picked up in the park office. Had a great experience last Friday with the Rotary, invited out there, and I was presented with a $300 check for replacement of our trees that have been taken down over the last several years. That was monies they raised in March through all the Rotary there, and that's nice. Appreciate it. And Mr. Milburn, you're part of that group, and thank you very much. We're also working on another project that's coming on down the road that really thankful to have Rotary and all these different clubs and organizations help the parks out. Can't thank you enough. Co-ed softball starts this Saturday, or Sunday. We're looking forward to that. We have several teams in there. Our Mother's Day event, Cupcakes and Canvas, had a big turnout. It was May 6th, just gorgeous and some pretty paintings. So we're also looking at something, I guess, in the fall, a heroes kind of thing where these guys in costumes come and dress up for the mothers to take their sons to. These guys are real picky. They need changing rooms and all this. These costumes are very expensive, so that's fun stuff, but it's looking forward that the moms will have something to do with the boys and entertain them. And I'll give you more on that later on down the road. Lap swim is still taking place Tuesday, Wednesdays, Thursday mornings, 5:30 to 6:30. Kiwanis Annual Fishing Derby will be June 9th at the Hot Pond. Looking forward to that. I just want to say a couple prayers out there. Terry Williams, who's helped us at the Hot Pond, needs prayers. So if you could send some prayers out to Terry Williams. And also Harold Folden got a troubled call on Saturday, so he went down to be with his mom. So prayers out to that family too.
Okay.
I appreciate that.
So you brought up fishing. Plans for fishing down at Conservation Club?
We are looking into that. I'm trying to get some signage and get all the things. I think Lori's contacted our Rob and trying to find out all the details just so we're safe there. Tyson and I've met too to see what kind of safety precautions we have to have. We've had probably 9 or 10 homeless people that have come into the parks just this spring already, and that's a big concern. So we're trying to get all those ironed out so everybody's safety is first. But yes, hoping to open it up by I think Memorial Day is what we're looking at.
Okay, thank you, John. Any other questions from the board?
What time, what day, or what time is the fishing derby?
Fishing Derby is 8 o'clock in the morning
8 o'clock.
on June 9th, yes. And that's also a free fishing weekend with DNR. There's been a lot of questions about fishing at the Hot Pond. The last that I've heard from DNR is that since it is a public fishing facility, that you have to have a fishing license if you're over 16 years of age. And I know there's been a lot, I'm looking into grandfather clause to see, since that property was given to the city, but I think since once we make it open to the public,
Yeah.
and DNR has offered to stock it for us and everything else, which we're looking into. We like bigger fish, especially for these derbies, so, and they get a lot more control once they get their hands in there, and we kind of don't
Yeah,
like that.
yeah.
Okay. Any other questions for John? Any questions for the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next up, Engineering Department, Kevin?
Good evening, board members. Updates for this week. Looking at the East Street project, we are nearing the end here. We can almost see the light at the end of the tunnel. Work completed since the last meeting. All the base and intermediate asphalt is complete. Sidewalk construction continues to move through the project and is nearing completion. As of about 15 minutes ago, all the walks on the east side of the road are complete, with the exception of one handicap ramp that will need to be removed and replaced due to some vandalism. On the west side, all walks are now complete, with the exception of 5 handicap ramps between Howard Street and IGA. So those will be poured tomorrow. And the only remaining sidewalk work is the lead walks that go up to people's houses, and that will be done tomorrow and or Wednesday. And that will wrap up really all the hard infrastructure for the project. Will lead us just to the remaining items, which would be asphalt surface and landscaping. Landscaping is scheduled for the end of the week on Thursday and Friday. That would be sod and trees. And the asphalt is tentatively scheduled for Monday and Tuesday. All these schedules are, of course, weather dependent, and it looks to be a hit or miss week in terms of weather, but so far so good. We haven't had any rain today. Maybe tonight. We'll see what that does to us. But it is a pretty precarious looking weather forecast for the week with a lot of rain. So we'll see what happens. But with a little bit of luck there, we should be wrapping up that project by the 23rd, which is the contractual deadline for substantial completion. That makes 455 days since the beginning of the project. After we get past that date, we are then looking at assessing liquidated damages to the contractor at a rate of $5,000 per day if they do not finish the project. Once they do reach substantial completion, which would mean the project has to be available for its intended use, then they have 90 days to reach final completion. That's our punch-out period, if you will. Additional projects, the Northern Interchange Study, a draft study was delivered to our office by American Structure Point. We're currently reviewing that and getting us into a position to be ready to to deliver a final study sometime in June. So look for more information on that as we will post those studies as soon as they are available. The Jamison Street Bridge project, the removal project, again a county project but done in city limits. That project is essentially complete at this point. As I talked about at the last meeting, we are working on some cost-sharing arrangements there for the replacement of some storm sewers associated with that and in the immediate vicinity of that bridge removal to take care of those issues and fix some drainage problems. Moving on to everybody's new favorite project, which is the Downtown Action Plan and the redevelopment of the square. Lots of exciting things are happening, and I'm really excited to report that we are finally under construction on that project. We held our ceremonial groundbreaking on Thursday last week, the 10th. I do want to thank Mr. Messenger and the Parks Department for helping out. A lot of people helped out, but they really came through on building some boxes for us to do the ceremonial shovel turning there, and they really pulled off a good effort there in less than a 24-hour period. So work that's already ongoing there. As I said, we broke ground ceremonially on Thursday. Construction began on Friday. We've already put up construction fencing, directional signage, our maintenance of traffic plan, our detours are in effect at this point. Construction barricades, all that was put in place last Friday. Asphalt started removal on Saturday. Trees, the site furnishings, the fixtures, those have all been picked up and gotten out of the way. Utility locates were going on today. Sidewalk saw cutting and removal has also begun. I'm happy to report that they've removed the wall around the courthouse west of the entry to the courthouse, so that couple 100 feet section there on the north side of Main Street came out very easy. We were pleasantly surprised that there was very little of a footing or foundation underneath that wall, so that's going to make efforts go a lot smoother with that project. The county has also installed their seismic monitoring devices and has performed an inspection on the courthouse just to ensure that there's no damage that does occur throughout the project. Next week, or in the next 2 weeks, demolition will obviously continue. Water main installation will start up possibly later this week. Really the name of the game right now is material procurement on some of those longer lead time items like the brick pavers and the decorative traffic poles and traffic signals. I do want to remind everyone we're trying to communicate in as much and as many ways as possible. So look for weekly updates that the contractor will be posting via an email distribution list. If you would like to be on that list, we have went door to door through all the downtown businesses and residents and the property owners and the government offices to make sure they are on that list. But if you send an email or contact me through the Facebook page of the city engineer's office, we can get you on that list as well. There will be, as I said, weekly email updates that will be distributed by the contractor talking about the schedule for the next week. The city has also set up a new website, embracetheorange.net. Look for additional information there. That site is just getting up and running, but will be more information posted there. Construction pictures, construction videos will also be posted there. And so look for information there. That's also part of the efforts going on by the Heart of Lebanon. So take a look at their Facebook page. They're doing a lot of updates. They're the ones that have launched this hashtag Embrace the Orange, and they're really trying to promote downtown and the downtown businesses. And we do just encourage everyone that downtown is open for business, and we do want you to continue to visit our downtown businesses during this time. They need some extra help and support from all of us. Construction inspection professional service contract, that has been released and is being finalized as we speak. NDOT approvals and permits have also been finalized in the last week. Moving on from the downtown project, our PASER, our pavement rating assessment management plan, that is ongoing. All the data work, or the field data collection, has been completed. And that study should be in draft form sometime in that first week of June. This will coincide with unit price bidding that we're getting ready to release for street department materials, or asphalt, sand, gravel, those other materials that they use for street repairs, in addition to putting together bid documents for street resurfacing, resurfacing projects for the year. Also happy to report we got notice today of the Community Crossings Program. They've sent out their first notice of those. Applications open up, I believe, August 6th for the next round of community crossing grants. We'll be ready for those when they come about. Indianapolis Avenue Phase 2, nothing much has changed since the last meeting. Still trying to wrap up the remaining right-of-way acquisition issues on the north half of the project and getting ready for January 2019 letting with construction in the spring. Grant Street, again, not much new to report there. We are working with the state on the issuance of an RFP for design consultant selection that will be coming out later this spring. And then also happy to report that Mr. Newell, David Newell, and myself will be attending the Indiana Annual MS4 meeting tomorrow over in Indianapolis on the east side to learn more about how we manage our stormwater systems. MS4 stands for Municipal Separate Storm Sewer System. That's the laws in the state of Indiana that govern our stormwater. So that's all I have.
Okay, thank you, Kevin. Any questions for Kevin?
No.
Any questions from the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Kevin.
Our next planning department, Ben.
Good evening, board members. We can definitely tell that the weather has changed because everything's picked up in our office. We completed 37 building inspections over the last couple of weeks, and we released 40 permits. Happy to report that 4 of those are new construction permits in Auburn Meadows. So definitely an uptick in activity in the construction side, and we'll definitely see that continue over the summer. As is always the case, when the weather warms up, the code enforcement also picks up too. So very busy over the last couple of weeks with trash and debris, and then our first grass and weed complaints of the year have started popping up literally and figuratively over the last couple of weeks. Completed 24 inspections just in the last couple of weeks on those. In terms of projects that we have ongoing in the planning office, comprehensive plan, we're off and running now. The steering committee did meet on May 1st. And had a lot of good discussion that was started there, and I do emphasize just started. We just barely scratched the surface of the conversation that we'd like to have with that committee in the first meeting, so we're working with the consultant to schedule a follow-up meeting with that group to continue that good discussion that we had started. We're also working on establishing a series of focus groups, or as I like to call them, industry expert groups, to discuss specific matters that will be important as part of the comprehensive plan, whether that be transportation, utilities, parks and recreation, et cetera. So we are assembling those groups now. We'll be getting out invites for those meetings over the next few weeks. So we're definitely all off and running and gathering as much input as we can from these groups, and then the public process will start soon thereafter. So that is ongoing. From the permit software, the planning staff is now using the new permit software in-house, and we are getting ready to roll this out to our customers and the general public. One component of that will be the new citizen engagement app, which will allow all of our general citizens to download an app on their smartphone. From there, then, if they notice a pothole or trash or anything that they might want to alert the city about, they can just get on that app, they can record the location, they can send it in, and then they receive updates as we work our way through the process of investigating, et cetera. So they will not only be able to send us the information about that complaint that they have, but then they'll receive notifications every time we do updates. That'll be a great thing for our public. From a customer perspective, they'll be able to sit at home and submit all their plans and et cetera for applications online. They don't even technically have to show up to the office. They can do all their payments online as well. So this again will make both us more efficient and our become a lot more customer friendly as well. Finally, on the entrepreneurial building, former Estes building, we will be opening bids for potential operators this evening at the redevelopment commission meeting. So that is moving forward. Then we'll take time to review those bids and evaluate them over the next month, and then ideally, hopefully, be recommending acceptance of one of those 3 bids at the redevelopment commission meeting in June. And that is all that I have. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Ben. Any questions for Ben?
No.
Any questions from the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Ben.
All right, communications, community development, Jill Page, or let's do streets. I'm sorry, Larry. I'm skipped my street department. Larry Lee. Sorry, I skipped over you, bud.
Thank you. Just a few things here on our list here. Since the last council meeting, we had an additional 32 calls we attended to and got done in a timely manner. They were missed trash, potholes, some limbs, and other objects and roadways. First of all, I'd like to report on spring cleanup. It went very well. We had over 496 vehicles unload trash at the street department. It didn't rain, and we were really busy, and I am so glad that they got good weather to get that done, cleaned up the city, backyards and everything like that. It really went well. The street department is still patching and filling chuck holes with hot mix and just a few things that Kevin pointed out too. We are in the final stages of our Paisley rating and can't wait to get on the paving schedule and get streets listed and ready to go. We are continuing to mow city easements, and the street sweeper has been out doing what we can with the sweeping, and we are working also next week to do some night sweeping, especially in the northern part of the downtown area, and work on that. Street department is in the process of getting a hold of our locating people to locate the areas for the new street signs in Parkway subdivision. We have all the signposts and signs in, and they should be up by the end of the week, weather permitting.
Very good. Any questions for Larry?
No.
Any questions from the public? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Larry.
All right, now communications and community development. Chair LePage.
Good evening, everyone. I wanted to remind everyone that the market season is upon us. Fruits and vegetables not exactly popping up out of the ground just yet, but they are planted, and Lebanon City Market is going strong with now 2 Fridays in. We're now going weekly, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Lebanon Downtown Co-working Development property, which is the former Estes/Kincaid property right off of Lebanon 39. A lot of vendors, there's parking available, easy access. You can pull right in, park your car, walk right over, get your goods and services, and then head on your way. And again, that's happening on Fridays now until October. Kind of wanted to also touch on what Kevin was talking about with the downtown construction. As he mentioned, construction has started. And in thinking about this whole downtown revitalization, an acronym comes to mind, and if you can bear with me a little bit, it's CYA, or CYA, and it's not what you think. It is Choose Your Attitude. And I would encourage everyone to, as Kevin mentioned, the hashtag is Embrace the Orange. We know that the construction is messy. We know that construction is loud. We know that it can make us uncomfortable for a little while. But if I can draw just a little bit of a comp, some data. There was an old Pizza Hut that used to stand in town, and it was great. And a lot of people had their birthdays there, and it became the industry standard, and it was a staple here in Lebanon. And as time went on, it had aged. And the powers that be decided that a new Pizza Hut should go in its place. Well, as that was happening and they were taking down the old Pizza Hut, as you can imagine, running the social media for the city, posting a picture of them taking down the old Pizza Hut was not a happy, was not met with a whole lot of happy comments from residents. Taking away something that had been and stood for years and years, and how could they do that? And then something happened. When the new Pizza Hut was built, 27,534 people saw the post. And there were posts like this one from Stephanie where she said, "Looks beautiful!" exclamation mark. "So happy for the staff in our town that it is done. Bet the women's restroom is heated and normal size now. Ha ha. Can't wait to try out the new building." And so if I can draw, in lighthearted terms, draw a comparison with downtown. Downtown has been great. It has been wonderful. It has been a place for businesses to thrive, for the best courthouse in the country, to continue to have folks come and see it. It's served a wonderful purpose. But it is a bit, I think we all can agree, a bit out of date. The crumbling sidewalks and bent light poles that are about street level, and the light poles that don't match, and the infrastructure underneath, the old pipes, all those things. It would be easy for us to, just like the old Pizza Hut when it was being torn down, to maybe jump on and say, you know, how horrible it is that we're tearing down the old Pizza Hut. But I would encourage you folks to choose their attitude, to have maybe a mindset of looking forward to the new Pizza Hut and what some of those pretty pictures will look like in the future, where we'll have great lights that all match, to have sidewalks that aren't tripping hazards for our elderly or our kids. Our Big Four Trail coming downtown. a place where businesses will continue to thrive. And so if I can encourage everyone to choose that attitude and buckle down and understand that, yeah, there will be some orange, there will be some dust, and absolutely, but the fine restaurants right now along the first phase, those first 75 days along Main Street are still very much open, and they're ready for business, and a lot of them are taking a proactive approach and embracing that orange, and I would encourage the public to do the same. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Joe. Very well stated. Any questions for Joe?
I have a comment. It's not really a question. Larry didn't mention it, Joe, you didn't mention it, but Thursday, Friday, and Saturday are the Cleanest City Major Cleanup Lebanon annual event. And it's my understanding there's been over 340 some commitments to join force to do that. And I know there's a kickoff Thursday morning over at the O'Kincaid facility there for the market facility. That's from 7 to 8 o'clock for those people to come pick up their supplies and to do their thing over those 3 days as far as helping clean up Lebanon. I just wanted to mention that.
Yeah, good point. Thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. Any questions from the public? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Joe.
All right. Last but not least, Dave Newell, Stormwater Department.
How you doing? I don't have quite as many hours as the fire and police, but we had 5 calls since the last meeting. Doing our weekly inspections after rain events. We always have to do those for MS4. We have repaired 4 catch basins, so we're kicking off with that with the help of Tom Brown with me. And tomorrow he'll be cleaning catch basins in case we get any rain, but while we're at the meeting. And I just wanted to thank Lana because she's picked up, you know, the calls and stuff while we're out in the field. In the winter I can help her, but now she's doing the billing by herself and stuff, so she's doing a great job.
Okay. Any questions for Dave? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks.
All right, that concludes department head reports. We'll move on to, is there any old business come before the board? Okay, we'll move on to new business. First item I have up here is the bid acceptance for 320 South Meridian Street. This was the bid we released at our last special meeting on the 30th. I assume we have reviewed the bids and can make a selection, so turn over to Ben.
Thank you. If you recall, at our last meeting we opened bids, we did receive 1 bid. I have had a chance to review and determine that all the information that we requested was included in that bid package. As a reminder, this bid was received from Chris J. Edwards II, who is here tonight if you have any questions for him. That bid was for $152,500, which was the required minimum bid for the property. In addition, he included his ideas for the concept development for the site, which I included in the information I sent you late last week, as well as his design and construction team. He did provide information on what that team looks like and some of the resumes there. So as you would see, the design team includes a gentleman from Curran Architecture as the architect for the project. The builder is Nick North of Midwest Homes, one of our local builders. Engineers is the C Group, and then they also have a local real estate agent as well. So they have certainly provided all the information we requested as part of that bid package. They've actually, even since they were the sole bidder at the last meeting, they've started doing some additional work. They have been in front of the Historic Preservation Commission. They were required to get approvals for both the demo of some of the houses that are north of our property, because his project conceptually will include 3 of the properties that are north of our site. So he has received approval from the HPC for demo of those houses, as well as the architectural design for the new product that he's conceptually proposing. So this is already, the wheels are already starting to turn on that since he was the only bidder. So tonight we're here before you to accept his bid. And I'd be happy to answer any questions, or if you have any specific questions about the conceptual project, Mr. Edwards is here as well.
Any questions for Ben from the board?
No, I don't have any for Ben, but for Tanya, the proceeds will go into the general fund, correct?
We would need to approve the resolution at the council meeting later tonight.
Okay.
This is just the acceptance of the bid. The council actually has to pass a resolution to approve the sale of the property.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this is just the receiving of the bids.
Oh, okay.
If we were to sell, yes.
Okay.
But it's contingent upon council approval, so. Any questions from the public? concerns? Okay, since we only had one bid, it makes it fairly straightforward. Rob, anything we need to do?
Yeah, so if there's a motion to accept, it would just be, as you indicated, subject to council approval as well as to a mutually acceptable purchase agreement.
Okay.
And then ask to allow you to go ahead and execute that if approved.
Okay. So we'll be looking for a motion to select the bid. Excuse me, I'm reminded of the.
I'll make that motion that we accept that bid from.
Make sure I get the company correct here.
Mr. Edwards is the.
Mr. Edwards is the bidder. I didn't know if it was a company name. Okay, so.
In the amount of $152,500.
And then also allow me to, subject to the approval of council sale.
Subject to the approval of the council, approve.
Agreeable purchase agreement, and then authorize me to sell.
Agreeable purchase agreement.
And
Yes,
then,
anything else?
and then allow me to execute it.
Yes, allow you to execute that.
Okay, I think we have a motion there. Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right. Bid is accepted. Thank you very much. And congratulations, Mr. Edwards. Okay. All right, next item up here is Resolution 2018-16 concerning the AIM Medical Trust. I'll turn this over to Tanya. Do you want to talk about this one?
Sure. I received this from our insurance company, which is AIM Medical Trust, and it's an update, it's a resolution adopting the second amended and restated agreement and declaration of trust of the AIM Medical Trust. There were 4 changes, minor to us. It has nothing to do with our insurance rate. It has to do with the resolution. The name of the trust has been changed from IAC Medical Trust to AIM Medical Trust. You must be a member for 5 years. They have no intention of dissolving the trust. The size of the Board of Trustees went from is now 18. It was previously 12 members. And the last one is the amendments expand the definition of permissible investments, and they just hired Umbaugh to assist in prudently investing trust assets. So I just need a motion to accept the resolution.
Any questions from that? It really is kind of just a cleanup resolution, make sure we're in compliance with AIM. They did a rebrand, changed their name, obviously expanded the board. It's been very good for the city, helped us significantly with our health insurance costs, so it makes sense for us to keep it. So
I'd move
we approve Resolution 2018-16. We have a motion to approve. Is there a second? Motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, Resolution 2018-16 passes unanimously. Thank you, Board. All right, next item up is a surplus vehicle declaration request from the Fire Department. Chief Batts.
Hello, I'd like to request a vehicle surplus for 4 vehicles, 3 2014 Chevy Tahoes that were turned in on the lease project, and 1 2003 Ford Crown Vic that just needs to go away.
All right, how about the 2006? You going to surplus that?
We're not ready to get rid of that one just yet. We need to hang on to it just a little bit longer.
Okay.
Okay.
One more yard.
So how many are there? I'm sorry, are
4.
there 4? Okay.
Just
So
4.
is your 2006 in this 4?
No.
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any questions for Chief Batts about that? So would entertain a motion to approve the surplus vehicle declaration requests concerning the 3 Chevy Tahoes and the 1 Crown Victoria.
I make a motion, we approve the request for the surplus vehicles.
The motion approves. Is there a second?
I second the motion.
Motion second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, surplus request is approved. Thank you, Chief.
Thank you. I'd like to thank Mr. Stoner for the seamless process, too. It definitely makes things a lot easier.
All right, just let me know in the 2006 when you're ready to do that one.
Will do. Thank you.
Thanks, Chief. All right, also have a request from Chief Wormuth for vehicle surplus.
We have 2 2014 Dodge Chargers that would like to be declared surplus. They're no longer needed in the fleet. They're being replaced.
Okay. Any questions for Chief Wormuth on this? Hey, Have you filled out the form for Bill on the?
Yeah, I have
Yes.
all the,
You
I
have
have
the
all
copies
the
of it?
paperwork. I've talked to Enterprise, and we'll take care of the disposal, and we'll get with you.
Have the keys on my
Pick 'em up.
desk.
Okay, very good. Any questions from the board? Okay, we entertain a motion concerning the surplus request for the 2 Dodge Chargers.
I make a motion that we approve the request for the 2 Dodge Chargers.
We have motion to approve. Is there a second?
I second.
I think it was Alan. All, motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? All right, that is approved. Thank you, Chief
Thank
Wormuth. Okay, is there any other new business coming before the board? Okay, move on to claims then, and we'll entertain a motion concerning the claims.
I move to approve the claims.
We have a motion to approve the claims. Is there a second?
I second.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Our claims are approved. Any other discussion announcements?
I have a question. The minutes indicated that our next board meeting would be on Monday, May the 29th, but Monday is the 28th, and that's Memorial Day.
That would be my fault. I changed the date, didn't change the day. So Monday, May 29th is a Tuesday. So since it's a
Tuesday?
Memorial, yes. So,
Okay, all
yeah,
right.
we're shifting it back one day from Memorial Day. So Tuesday, May 29th is the correct, thank you for that catch there. So
right.
that'll be our next meeting. Okay. With that, would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
We have motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second the motion.
Motion is second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Okay, we are adjourned. Thanks for watching. The Redevelopment Commission is up next.
This one here is